When it comes to Phillip Island motorcycle racing aficionados, this is the hardcore. These friends have been coming from interstate for 3 decades. Twice a year, they head to the circuit here.
The 2026 Superbike season is underway.
Over the weekend, it was Superbikes, and the fastest of them all, Moto GP, in October. Next year, that premier race will head to Adelaide.
I think it's one of the best tracks in the world as far as, positions to watch, entertainment, the town. And yeah, it's just sad to think that it's happened,
But Victoria's loss is South Australia's gain.
Adelaide will become host to Moto GP on a street circuit in the heart of our city, bringing it to life.
Adelaide will bring the fastest motorcycle racing from a regional circuit to the city. The track will be minutes from the airport, just outside the CBD. MotoGP bikes will hit speeds approaching 350 kilometers per hour on a track winding through parkland next to city streets.
Action, 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 when Adelaide comes alive.
The top flight racing from motorcycles is a reminder of the days of the 80s and 90s when Adelaide hosted the Australian Formula One Grand Prix.
And Ayrton Senna wins in Australia. Go!
30 years ago, that race was snatched by Victoria and moved to Melbourne. The former Victorian Premier who oversaw the move, Jeff Kennett, says now South Australia has its revenge.
So I cried. And then I laughed. And I laughed because I thought of the Premier of South Australia, where the community over there are still upset that I borrowed from them the Formula One. And here he was now securing this event back for South Australia. And I thought to myself, as I've thought before, this particular Labor Premier is following the Kennett Bible. So getting the gather round, for instance, the Live Golf, huge crowds attending it, good for the morale of the community.
On Phillip Island, there is sadness that fears of losing the Moto GP race have been realized. This restaurant has a strong connection with the Moto GP, right?
Yes, definitely. I think that would have been, 1989.
From 5-time world champ Mick Doohan on down, all the legends have come to Massimo Fumagali's family restaurant.
I think everyone is, very upset. Economically, it would be, it's going to be very, very devastating for the island over that period.
Last year, more than 90,000 visitors crammed Phillip Island for the Moto GP in October, usually a slow time of year. The local council has suggested negotiations over upgrades to the track started too late to save the race, but Victoria's state government says the Moto GP's owners were determined to move.
Their interest was more about being within a couple of kilometres, for example, of a major city. They want the patronage, I think, that comes from being located in a CBD.
The MotoGP series is now owned by the same group that owns Formula One car racing. Motorcycle racing journalist Trevor Hedge says to replicate the F1 model, regional tracks like Phillip Island will go.
I'd say it's not what the fans want them to do, but that's what they want to do. They're in the entertainment business. They're all about making money, and that's the way they see forward for the sport.
The head of motorcycle racing's governing body, FIM, George Villegas, says the Phillip Island circuit has fallen behind.
We organized MotoGP there for 35 years, I think, and nothing happened. It's still the same paddock, the same boxes, the same facilities.
Villegas says the FIM will be watching Adelaide's plans carefully. There's a reason MotoGP now has no street circuits. They're dangerous in a sport where riders frequently come off bikes and slide fast.
Don't get wrong. We are not going to organize any race if the circuit is not safe. What we ask in questions of safety for the ride is exactly the same. I'm not at all giving any concession in safety, that's for sure.
Adelaide race organizers say their track is safe, and a city circuit will only accelerate MotoGP's rise.